Hey, what's up everybody? PDF44 coming at you with another video. Alright, great game, Mr. October with a big time shot to end it. Salute. That was the tweet LeBron James put out after the game last night. Mr. October, he's referring to Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson from the baseball player, his nickname was Mr. October, so he's kind of playing on that a little bit. I guess I want to react to that because I know a lot of Laker fans probably offended by that statement. Given the fact this was a game that he did not play in. We were going against our rivals, the Clippers. And, you know, you don't really hear too often an opponent provide props on Twitter to the team that just beat him in a close game that he wasn't a part of. And, you know, under the circumstances, given the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers are fighting with the Clippers this season for, you know, a play-in tournament playoff spot, you know, on top of all of it, it just ain't sitting right with a lot of people. You know, a lot of what we kind of compare behavior to is Kobe Bryant and some of the stars of the past. You know, if you hear me talking a lot, it's about Shaq. You know, I always say Shaq wouldn't do this. Shaq was provided a great deal of size, so I respect size. You know, we compare today to the legends of the past, okay? Sorry, I got my nose peeling, all kinds of different stuff. But anyway, point is, I wanted to react to that because in my opinion, well, I'll tell you what my opinion is. LeBron James is tired of what he's seeing out there. And he often uses social media in the past to kind of make that be known. Cryptic ways, in ways that you have to decipher. And this is yet another one of those, in my opinion. This is the equivalent to the clinch fixed meme that he made back in Cleveland, in my opinion. This is his way of saying, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. And he's alluding to the fact that he doesn't feel that we are being as competitive as we need to. So he's echoing that, in my opinion, by not displaying a great deal of competitive nature in regards to this team. In other words, the way I'm reading into this, it seems that he's alluding to he feels like the Lakers need to make some changes, and or this season is over, so it's no need to be competitive like that, and or he doesn't feel supported by the Lakers in ways that will help him reinforce that competitive nature that is otherwise natural to him. I think it is time to allow room for massive, drastic changes. And I've been saying that for a couple weeks now. I'm not mad at anybody at this point. I've been mad at the coach. I've been mad at Bron. I've been a little perturbed with Jeannie. I've been mad at everybody. But this morning, after that game last night, no, it's not anger anymore. It's just a certainty about things. The certainty is this. We aren't good enough to win. LeBron James is starting to act up. I'm wondering if this injury is real after reading that tweet. I'm wondering if he's quitting on his team. And I'm wondering if it's best for us to just go ahead and move on from him. Because at the end of the day, this was a team created for his timeline. We could have done a lot of different things with our assets, even if we didn't want to keep them, the 30, 40 plus young players that we've had over the last 6 years. But we did all of that so that we can provide the vision of him and his team, Clutch, their vision for the Lakers. We gave away all kinds of stuff that we could have done a million things with, including keeping all those players together, for which we'd have one of the best teams in basketball. If not the best team in basketball, if we would have kept all those guys together. We got our championship in 2020. Very, very good. Very happy about that. I don't take that lightly. There are many teams that have fought hard, have never gotten a championship. Teams that are close and are praying for their first championship. A team like the Bucks, who just got theirs. Super excited. Hadn't had one in a very long time. I don't take championships lightly just because I have a bunch of them. Okay? But at the same time, because I have a bunch of them, I feel like my organization knows how to get them. We're in a catbird seat, so to speak, because we have the location of the Los Angeles Lakers. We have the Los Angeles area, should say. We do have the lore of the Lakers. We do have the Staples Center, also known as Crypto.com Arena, for which players want to play for, play in, be a part of. We have won championships as of recent times. 2020 we won one. 2010 we won one. You know, you could look back in our recent history in comparison to other franchises and see a lot of success. So there's reasons to believe that some of that success can carry forward. But I think at this point, the Los Angeles Lakers are in an impasse here. We have to understand that what we've done in creating this particular team has put us at risk for having any chance at being able to move forward and successfully. We've given up our picks. As I've said, we've given up players, young players. We foregoed opportunities to make trades to keep this vision going. We've held on to a coach who I think should have been long fired based on his rotations, his inability to make plays coming out of timeouts, offensive plays that work, his inability to put players on the floor that can defend, rebound, various things that you need your coach to be able to do, make adjustments on the fly instead of sticking to plans that don't work. Someone strong enough to tell guys, no, we're not going to play you tonight. I understand that you're friends with this guy or that guy, but if you're not going to play well, we're going to have to pull you. We don't have that. And so it's not about being mad anymore. It's just about waiting for the Lakers to do whatever it is that they're actually going to do. Whatever that may be. Whether it be to make those changes or stand pat and live with these results. But as a fan, I can honestly tell you, with every passing game that I speak about this team, I grow more and more indifferent in regards to my interests as it pertains to this regular season. Not as it pertains to my franchise as a whole, as a fan, but just in watching this season. I don't. Last night it was a very good game, and it was a struggle to watch. I didn't care to watch a good Laker game. That's how bad it's gotten for me because I'm so worn out of what I'm seeing. I believe LeBron James is probably the same. I believe that we reached a point last night through that tweet where we can honestly say the first signs of him being tired of being a Los Angeles Lakers have arrived. I think if he were to leave this place, he could win a championship immediately. Depending on where he went. He could win it this year. I'm not saying I want him to go necessarily, but I ain't saying I want him to stay either, because I think that ultimately why we have these problems is because we were trying, as I said, to provide the vision that he had for this team. And if history tells us anything, we're going to be left holding the bag, so to speak, after he leaves. And that's unacceptable to me. We're not the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're not the Miami Heat. Franchises that either haven't had a whole lot of success in their history or have only been around for like 25, 30 years. We are one of the prize organizations in sports all across the world. We got fans in other countries that rival as many fans as we have locally. Places like the Philippines, places like Japan, India. All over the world, you'll find people who are as passionate about the Lakers as I am, who are following this team just as closely, who are just as fed up. Changes must be made. And honestly, I have no confidence that the people in place to make those changes are going to make those changes at all. So I don't know how much Laker basketball I'm going to be willing to talk about or even watch going forward. Honestly. Not this season. Because it's getting to a point where I can do better things with my time than watch them continue to make the same decisions that ultimately lead to failure. Watch them continue to put players on the floor that are long past their prime when we have young players that could be playing. Players that need opportunities. Players who are in the G League who we'd probably call up and make them into players who could actually make a lot of money for themselves, but instead choose to run vets that don't have anything to give us. I resent that very much so. I think about a guy like Trevelyan Queen, who we had earlier in the season, who is the prototype to exactly what we need right now. He's in the G League right now. He should not be in the G League. He should be playing for the Lakers. We need perimeter. defensive players, players who can stretch the floor, players who can dunk the ball, players who can do better on the defensive end than what it is that we've been seeing from some of our players. Chuck pointed out last night on his show, Charles Barkley, how poorly the angle that Russell Westbrook took on the final play of the game. And while I could be mad at Russell Westbrook for not making the right play, I'm more so mad at the organization for having a coach in place that wouldn't put him in a position to be successful in that play. See, Russell Westbrook should have never been in that position in the first place. He can't defend. We know that. Our guy Austin Reeves, he's a good defensive player, but he doesn't have the strength yet. He's a rookie, undrafted at that. It's going to take a couple years for him to get the type of strength necessary to be able to hold off a play like that by himself, especially if the other guy's not going to help and you're not going to have any weak side help for that. You know who the weak side player was on that play? Malik Monk. Malik Monk's about 6'4". That's who contested the shot when that double team failed and was split. So we can talk about how bad Westbrook's angle was. We can talk about how our guy Austin Reeves needs to get stronger, but the reality is the wrong players were on the floor in that situation. Dwight Howard should have been on the floor for rim protection, and AD should have been in position as well to protect that. If Dwight Howard was down there, regardless of what angle Russell Westbrook took, when that double team was split, Reggie Jackson's running into a big body, slapping that ball into the sky. Or at least a foul that makes him force himself into free throws. Probably gives us more time to work with. These are little things that a good coach is going to put our team in a position to have. But even more so, a good organization is going to make sure you have the right coaching position to do that. And even more so than that, a good organization is going to make sure they have the players on the floor for the roster that'll put us in position to not have those issues ever happen. A lot of Laker fans are talking about, who's the problem? Is it the roster or the coach? Don't blame the coach. It's actually on them. No, it's on everybody. It's on everybody. This is ineptitude from the top, trickling all the way down. Mistake after mistake, from the players to the coaches to the Genie Bus and everyone in between. This is not something the fans can do anything about. I feel like I'm doing my part. I'm talking about it every day with my voice. I'm pointing out each and everything that I see, and so are everyone else. So is everyone else. We're all tired. However we view this situation, we're all tired of it. Nobody's wrong. Some of these people want to say, oh, it's not Russell Westbrook's fault. Yeah, it is. It's his fault too. He should be better. He's been in this league for 15 years. He should know what he should be doing in that situation. He didn't work on his craft in a way that would put him in a position to make better decisions and to know how to play this game better. He relied upon his athleticism and his statistics to carry him. And because he was able to get success in statistics, he was able to have success in terms of being a top 75 player and making a bunch of all-star teams. But at the end of the day, Michael Jordan's a student of the game. Kobe Bryant was a student of the game. Some of the greatest players ever played this game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, student of the game. Just because they had super high IQs and seemed to have mastered the game did not mean that they stopped learning. Didn't mean that they were able to say, okay, I'm where I need to be and that's good enough. It's on each and every player, Russell, LeBron, all of them, to continue to remain students of the game and to continue to work on their craft. And one thing I know about the game of basketball is no matter how much you know, there's more to learn. The game is evolving, and because of it, there's more that's going to be there to discover. It's a science. It's not as simple as, okay, I learned the rules, now I know how to play. No, it's an ever-evolving game, an ever-changing game, and a strategy that comes with what it is that you do starts from the top and trickles down. It's on everybody. It's on LeBron James for wanting a better vision, for not having a better vision for this team. For being so selfish as to ask us to put ourselves in a position to not have assets so he can have the type of team that he wants to run when that team ain't even the best type of team to have for himself. An awkward fit. It's on him. He wanted this, and that was wrong for him to do that, to want that, because it put us in a position to not be as good as we needed to be. That's on him. It's on Rob Pelinka for not bucking the system in regards to that and saying, yo, I ain't going to be able to do my job properly if we're doing things that's going to ultimately make it difficult for me to make moves. You want me to be a GM, but don't have me be a fourth of a GM, because that's all you allow me to be at this point. It's on him to make that very clear. And it's on Jeannie Buss to adhere to that and help him by not allowing LeBron James to have this much power with her franchise that she owns, that her father left her in charge of. No different than she shouldn't have let her brother have so much power when he was in power, running things into the ground. No different than she shouldn't be allowing LeBron James to have this much power and running our team into the ground right now. I'm not here to befriend anybody in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers. I am here to talk about what I see, because you guys are demanding of us to buy Spectrum cable to watch this game, because there ain't no other way to watch it. Y'all demanding of us to buy tickets and paraphernalia and support the team in such a way, and you're not putting the product on the floor that we know you should. It's not about being angry anymore. It's about being matter of fact. And the fact of the matter is, it's everybody's fault but the fans. We doing our part, rooting for this team. Where y'all at? All of you. Where are you? I look at Anthony Davis. I say, you know, I like who he's come back and becoming after the injury. He's being who I want him to be. I look at Malik Monk. I say he's playing well. He's being who I want him to be. I look at other players on this team. Certain players like Austin Reeves working his progressions, trying to be his best player he can be. But it's still up to those players to continue to be a student of the game, as I said. No matter how much confidence you have in what it is that you've learned, you still got to find ways of being better. And if you see something that's inept down there, you see something that isn't working, you got to use your voice and stand up for yourself and stand up for your team. And as far as what LeBron James is doing, showing love to the other team, hey, on its surface, it's not a big deal, but I know better. Because I've seen him operate this way for many years. And I know when he's trying to make a statement about how he feels without actually saying what it is that's on his mind. And that's cool. Because I know he's not necessarily in a position to speak freely based on what it is that he has going on. I respect and am sensitive to that truth. He can't just say, yo, this is some bull crap, blah, 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 because it's going to be a bad reflection upon himself and his company. But I do understand that he's unhappy. And that's what he's expressing right here. But I'll tell him I am too, brother. I'm unhappy with you. Because you allowed things to get this bad. You had the vision to put this team in this position, and now we suck. And I don't want to hear nothing about all our players are gone, because y'all know it's a COVID year. You ain't expected to have all your players. I'm smart enough to know that. I don't know about the conversations that are being had around this team as it pertains to other people talking about waiting for the Lakers to get all of their players. But what I know is we've been dealing with COVID for 2 years. We ain't never had all our players, and neither has anyone else in this league. Every team is dealing with the fact that they don't have their players. What the hell are we waiting for to fix our problems? To get all of our players? You're not going to have them. COVID protocol is going to promise you that. You need to be able to succeed without all that you have, which means you need depth to get you through the season. And we didn't respect that. We have a team that's probably about 7 or 8 deep right now. And the rest of the players on it should be retired or elsewhere. And our coach, he ain't helping because he relies upon those players and will live and die with those players. For reasons that don't make any sense to me, because I think he would have a much better showing as a coach if he played the other players. Tried other things that are more conventional and that work, as opposed to the stuff that we clearly see does not. And if you're telling me you can't think of another way for this team to succeed, I look at you and say, well, I can. And they're not paying me to do that. I know playing Dwight and AD for more than 10 minutes at a time together, or Dwight more than 10 minutes period, is a recipe for success, because we don't have rim protection. I talk about it every night. If I want to see anything from LeBron James, can we allude to the fact that we don't have rim protection? Can we allude to the fact that we're leaving AD out there to be the only big on the floor, and we're asking guys like Malik Monk to be the weak side helping down the stretch of a game? Can we tweet about that? Can we tweet about the fact that we don't have any assets going forward, and that we're going to be in a position to not be able to help ourselves going forward? We're going to be even worse next year because of that. Can we tweet about that? I understand that you can't speak freely. I already said that. But there are certain things that we need to point out. Can we point out the fact that we are crap coming out of timeouts when we run plays? None of them ever turn into anything good. We talk about that. It gets to a point where as a fan, you just lose your patience. After watching the same mistakes made over and over, the same bad players running up and down, up and down, up and down, while players you know can play are sitting down. I'm tired of watching it. I don't want to see Trevor Ariza play a whole fourth quarter. I don't want to see Avery Bradley starting the game in 2022 when his prime was back in 09 and 08. I don't want to see DJ out there at all while Dwight Howard's sitting down when I know Dwight Howard comes in 10 minutes and almost gives us a double-double. 2 games in a row. He's played well with limited minutes, and we have been better with him on the floor. Thank God AD's back to help block some shots. That rim protection is helped by his presence, but if he's only big on the floor, it's only but so much he can do, especially when he doesn't have the mentality of a big. We know that. He rebounded very well yesterday, 17 rebounds. He's not a rebounder like that. We know that. LeBron James can be tired all he wants, but at the end of the day, he has just as much responsibility to this as anybody else. More so. I'm a Laker fan until it's over with. Y'all can have the worst team in the league for the next 35 years. I'm still going to be a fan, but don't mistake that for me supporting the team as it pertains to keeping my eyes on them for 3 hours a night, or spending $1,000 on tickets, or spending $300-400 on jerseys. Don't mistake my loyalty to the team to my loyalty to you while you being inept to me. That ain't about to happen. You're going to lose fans. Y'all keep this bull crap up. You're going to lose fans. You'll see less and less people coming in that damn arena. I'm telling you, I'm not playing. It's going to get real for y'all as people start to realize what it is that I already see coming, which is that we're not going to have nothing, including LeBron James, 2 years from now. Don't think people going to just stay with you. The Clippers are going to start getting real fans. They're going to open that building down the street from me in Inglewood. Man, you're going to see more people flooding into that thing. LA will not wait for you. I'm telling you right now, don't think that past success is going to give you future success if you're not doing the same things that put us in a position to be successful. Kobe Bryant carried y'all for 18 years. And a lot of those years, y'all wasn't doing what y'all was supposed to do then, and you're still showing us that you're not ready to do what you're supposed to do now. And that is the bottom line. So LeBron James can give support to Reggie Jackson, foregoing all opportunities to have Laker pride if he wants to. That's his business. He don't have to be a Laker fan. I am. He don't have to have Laker bleeding through his blood. He's from Cleveland. He's from Akron, rather. Ohio. He ain't no LA dude. When this thing is over with, he can go live his life with his billions of dollars in his company, and we will still be sitting here waiting for y'all to get it together. And what I'm telling you is, if you don't get it together, I'm gonna be having my eyes elsewhere. Don't mean I'm rooting for a different team, but I will not be watching you. So get y'all stuff together, man. I ain't gonna tell you what you need to do, because I've made hours and hours and hours and hours of what I think would make me happy as a fan. You can watch those videos if you like. I ain't gonna waste my time doing that any further. This is as much as I'm gonna give it. Congratulations to Reggie Jackson. As an opponent, I can honestly say he whooped our butt. But we didn't put ourselves in a position to do anything about it. We didn't put the right players on the floor to even contest the play. That's why he was skipping down there feeling so good about himself, because he knew he could beat those people. He didn't think he could beat those people. He knew he could. So you can give him some, you can, show him all the love you want, LeBron, but at the end of the day, it wasn't him that won the game. It was us that lost it. And that's just one game. We've lost many. While you were down there, while you weren't down there, while AD was down there, while you weren't, he wasn't out there, it's all the same. Because those are not the things that have cost us games. It's the attitude. The way that we approach these games is why we lose. It's the habits that we reinforce with the choices that we make that are why we lose in these games. You started losing when you put this damn thing together. You started losing when you didn't respect youth and size. Not in basketball games when ball is tipped up or down the stretch when one play is botched. No, you started losing when you decided you didn't respect assets and wanted to go old. Wanted everybody on the team to be my age. And I'm 37 years of age. And then on top of that, asking those players to do things that they're not even supposed to do. Being out of position. Running plays that don't put them in positions to play to their strengths. Those are losing decisions that happen before the game starts. So that's all there is to really say. I'm a Laker fan that is losing his interest in this team. And it's y'all fault. All of you. My name is BDL44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.